Thanks for tuning in. This will be my MAGFest video. I know a lot of you, or at least JCA U99, keeps bugging me about my Classic Gaming Expo video, which probably will not happen, but I am doing one for MAGFest, so I had a good time. Really the main purpose of going was to hang out with the fellow YouTubers. Was already kind of joined with JCA U99, Burning Toys, Goodwill Hunter, CJR, Retro Rewinder, and it was supposed to be Chris Minogue. He had to drop out at the last minute for a good reason, but it was too bad. I was really hoping to hang out with him too. But it was really a lot of fun. It was a little bit more expensive around DC. Just eating was expensive. The hotel had a couple of restaurants. That was expensive. The restaurants around the hotel were expensive. So that's really where the money got spent. I didn't spend a lot of money on games. In fact, I didn't spend any money on games. I did some trading and stuff, but I didn't spend any money myself on them. But like I said, the money was really spent on eating. Eating, and I don't even think we ate like every meal, but it still added up pretty quickly. Also, we had to take a cab ride just to go to to pick up some beer and stuff. So, like I said, just all added up. So all in all, I don't know if I would do MAGFest again, but it's always fun to hang out with YouTubers. I'm really excited for the Midwest Gaming Classic, and if a bunch of YouTubers just said, hey, let's get together here, I would be totally up for that. And so I don't know if I would go to MAGFest per se again, just because of the cost. But all in all, it really was a fun weekend. The arcade was okay, a ton of people, but it was all right. A lot of machines were broken too, and so that was a little disappointing. But I still got to go on there, play some Techno Bowl with JCA 99, and played some pinball with Trevor with Retro Rewinder, and had a good time with that. They had a like an indie arcade where developers were kind of showing off their games, and that was pretty fun. And then they had like a console section also, which was cool to walk through. But if I'm going to play Nintendo, I'll just do it here at the house. But so it really was a fun time. I got to see a couple of other YouTubers. Machine Guns Texas, it was nice to meet Chase. RPG Tour Guide, I'm a big fan of Ryan, so it was cool to meet him. And we got to play some board games and stuff like that, which is what I definitely like to do. So that was really cool. So like I said, it really was just a great time. And I would love to get together just with YouTubers, and it didn't even have to be a gaming convention. But here's just a couple of pictures that I've recreated since, if you follow my channel for any length of time, I don't take a lot of pictures or record live at all. So this is just a goofy way to show off, just a good time we had. Here's how Chris Minogue spent his weekend, since he didn't want to come with us. Meow. So here are the games that I got from the vendor hall, and then just some gifts from JCA U99 and from RPG Tour Guide. I didn't spend really any, in fact, I didn't spend any money on games. I brought a lot of stuff to trade, and so I traded some stuff with CJR and then just some of the vendors. And so the first thing I'll just show is with RPG Tour Guide. I had brought him a Super Mario World. He said that he didn't have it, and so I gave him that. And then really in return, he gave me, for the PlayStation 2, Ultimate Spider-Man. And I just thought it looked really cool. I've never played it or anything. It's in a nice dust sleeve, and even the cover of the game looks really neat. So that was really cool of you, Ryan. And we got to play some board games, and that was really cool. And just hang out in his room one night, just chatting and stuff with some other YouTubers and stuff. So it was really cool. If I can get this back in there. But yeah, thank you very much, Ryan. From JCA U99, he had watched one of my previous videos where I'd mentioned looking for a Chrono Trigger on the DS, and he came across it. And so this is complete, which is really cool because I'm finding complete DS games has been kind of tough. But so it was really cool to find this, and it is complete. I know you probably can't see the game, but it's all in there. So, very nice. And then lastly, this is just the games I got from the vendor hall. Like I said, I didn't spend any money. and there weren't a ton of stuff that I really wanted to pick up. There was a Snowboard Kids 2 the first night that I saw. They wanted $60, and I wasn't going to spend $60 on it. But like I said, I had a bunch of stuff, and so the next day I brought some stuff down to trade for it, and it was gone. Luckily though, there was another vendor that had it, and so I traded, I think it was 2 copies of Link to the Past and a Pokemon Fire Red. And I picked up his copy of Snowboard Kids 2, hopefully you can see that. And then also he had Super Bowling, which is one of those Blockbuster exclusives. It's not a terribly expensive game, I think it's like 30 bucks on eBay, but this is the first time I've seen a copy of it, so I got both these games. I thought it was a pretty fair trade. I think I paid $9 total. Actually, it was probably less than that because the one Link to the Past was for winning Retro Rewinders contest. But so either way, I thought it was a pretty good deal. 2 games I didn't have yet. Just a couple more of the rare N64 titles. I know I still need Ogre Battle, Mega Man 64, Space Station Silicon Valley. I don't know if I'll ever find Sculptor's Cut, but got just a couple more rare ones here, so it's kind of cool to find those. And then lastly, I had traded in a bunch of stuff, and there was an Arc the Lad, the Working Designs collection on the PS1, and I think the vendor wanted $100 for it, and I was kind of interested in it, and so I brought all of my stuff to him, and he kind of took a look at all of it, and offered me a pretty big number, so just settled on cash, and so didn't pick up anything from him. But I wasn't disappointed at all with that. But I still had some Halos left over. I had like 3 Halos and I think a Final Fantasy X2 and something else I can't remember. But anyway, so this was Monday now before we were leaving, and I was just trying to dump the rest of these games so I didn't have to go home with them. And there was a vendor that had a ton of RPGs, but unfortunately they had a lot of them that were sealed still, a lot of PS2 sealed RPGs. And so they were looking for, you know, 50, 60 bucks, which one thing, would want to open them and play them. I'm still looking for Tales of the Abyss, Tales of Legendia, stuff like that. So anyway, so I handed him these things, and he wanted to give me, I think, like $12 total for it all. And so I was like, I just figured, I could probably find something and just trade it straight up and be done with it. And so as I'm looking, I'm not really seeing anything in their used games that I need. And then I get the text from Trevor like, hey, we're in the lobby, we're heading out. And it's like, oh crap. So I picked out Guilty Gear X2. They had it marked at 20 bucks. And I had heard of Guilty Gear, but I wasn't sure what kind of game it was. I was just hoping it was an RPG. And it is not. It's a fighting game, which I'm awful at. But so that's what I ended up with. Probably not going to play this. So this is Guilty Gear X2. But that's what I ended up with. So all in all, like I said, I didn't spend any money on games, and this is pretty much everything that I got here. If I can pull it all for you, upside down, I know, but oh well. So 5 games. Like I said before, I really went just to hang out with everyone. I am glad to pick up these 64 games. That was cool to find, and definitely really thankful to JCAU 99 and RPG Tour Guide. So that's pretty much my time at MAGFest. It really was a good time. Like I said, the biggest problem was just the cost. The hotel's a little bit more expensive than, say, Milwaukee. Food was a little bit more expensive. We had to take a cab ride to do anything, which we only did once, and that was just to go to the liquor store. And so just those kind of costs add up. But it really was a good time just hanging out with everyone. I did go to one panel. Actually, I went to a couple panels. None of them to me were really worth mentioning. I was really excited for the Normal Boots panel, and I really liked Peanut Butter Gamer, who was not there. And I did not enjoy the panel. In about 10 minutes through it, I just walked out. So it was kind of rude, which I don't like being rude, but it just was not fun. It was not exciting or entertaining, so I just walked out. But really, like I said, it was a good time. I loved hanging out with all the YouTubers. I want to say thanks again to RPG Tour Guide, JCAU 99, Retro Rewinder, CJR, Burning Toys, Good Will Hunter. All those guys really made the weekend for me. We had a great time playing some games, and just had a good time. So I don't know if I'll go to MAGFest again, but I definitely will be going to conventions again. And I am going to the Midwest Gaming Classic, and I'm really looking forward to hanging out with everyone there. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you at the next video.